Happy that he's here tonight, and I'm just going to get him right up here. Rabbi Shalom Mordechai Rubashkin.
Okay, good evening and mazel tov everybody. Shabbat L'chaim. One of the reasons Rabbi Jacobson asked me to speak is because the Bar Mitzvah boy Zalman is we're honored to have him in our home, and he's very much part of our family. And I want to wish the Jacobson family, from all the Rubashkin family, all the brothers and sisters, to Zalmi, Mazel Tov. Hello, Mazel Tov. Okay. And I got a chance to speak to all these fine people here. I speak about 2-3 words what's going on in Postville, Iowa. Postville, Iowa is a little shtetl that's sort of started from scratch. We were fortunate to be able to start building a Jewish community from foundation up. When we first came, my brother and I was first, and I came over with my family. There was no Jewish school, there was no Jewish shul. There was really nothing in the Jewish spectrum other than kosher meat that was being produced in the plant at that time. That was happening. And I got a chance to see what really Judaism is all about from a businessman's perspective. You know, it's interesting that we choose a day like the 13th birthday to say a person's a man. And the reason that our sages tell us is because that's the time when the person's mind and heart could work together. Up until 13 years old, the child is more into his heart, what he likes, what he enjoys, whether it be good candy, whether it be a good game. And when he gets 13 years old, his mind is already in a position where he can start explaining, he can intellectually understand what is good for him and what is not good for him, and to choose the right path. And interestingly enough, you watch these children growing up in the yeshiva, in the cheder, and you watch them growing up in a very, very non-Jewish surrounding. And we have over there that many families, Jewish families, but everything around us is non-Jewish. It's probably probably like Des Moines also. I wouldn't say anything much different. And it's interesting to see how the kids flourish and they grow, and when they grow up, they're committed to the Torah that's handed down to them as every Jew, and they want to live a life of Torah. And I think it all comes down because in Postville, the kids not only get a chance to learn Chumash and learn about what Judaism is intellectually, but they actually have a chance on Shabbos and a chance during the week to see their father, their friends, the community function, and what it looks like to live a Jewish life. And when they see that, and when they see the community getting together on Shabbos and davening and getting a Shabbos meal and eating and enjoying a simcha together and doing everything in a very, very Jewish way, then the children, as they grow up, they actually decide that's the life they want to live. And just to share with you one little story we spoke about this Shabbos by a little kiddush in shul. We had a Dr. Hart from Iowa City came to us for Shabbos. I don't know if everybody knows him. He was my brother, and he made a comment was made, and to which I said this following story. The Barbanel, there was a great sage called the Barbanel. He lived in Spain in late 1492 when the Jews were expelled from Spain. He was one of the people that were expelled from Spain. He was a big minister in economics and a big doctor, and he was actually granted a special pardon from the king to stay in Spain while all the Jewish brethren were being expelled from Spain in 1492 by the Spanish Inquisition. So before then, the ministers in the court of the king asked him, why is it, Sir Barbanel, I don't have to call him rabbi, that you always seem to have a good track, you always seem to be right on target in anything you touch. We talked to you about astronomy, you're right on target. We talked about medicine, you're right on target. We talked to you about economics, you're right on target. What is it, what's the secret that you have and the wisdom you have that you always seem to be right on target? So he answered this following parable to explain where he gets his source of wisdom. Zalman, we're talking to you, okay? Source of wisdom is this. He said that once there was a hunter. I think it's hunting season now in Iowa, it was, and there was a hunter, and those days they were hunting bows and arrows, and he was walking through the forest, and he chanced upon a bunch of trees that he saw targets. He saw big circles and little circles and smaller circles yet, and he sees a hole was hit in every bullseye of every target in the tree. and he obviously he thought he chanced upon an amazing marksman that can hit every time a bullseye. So he figured he'll hang around here and watch the guy come in for photography practice. And luckily, a few hours later, a guy walks into that area, didn't notice him standing there, and he walks over and takes out a bow out of his quiver, points it at a tree, shoots at it. The arrow hits the tree, then he walks over to the tree, and he makes a small circle, then he makes a bigger circle, and then good game, huh? And it's a bigger circle, shoots another one, and he does it again. He walks over to him and says, "Sir, what are you doing here?" He says, "That's not the way you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to first make them big circles, and then the smaller circles, and a little teeny circle. Then you're supposed to shoot and see if you can get it. What are you doing?" So he says, "Well, then you can miss." I want to make sure I'm right on target every single time. I want to make sure I'm right on target, so I work backwards. I first start from the source, and then I start drawing my circles around it, and I never miss. And the Bible said, this is the Torah Jew. A Jew that learns Torah, because the wisdom comes from the source of wisdom, which is God. If he starts off, anything he touches, if he starts off from Torah, how many circles he extrapolates and moves away from it, he will always be on target. He will never stray away from the real truth. Versus he turns around to them, you people, are always floundering in a bunch of wisdom, but you're in these big circles. Sometimes you hit it and sometimes you don't. Anyway, so this is the message that we give our children. We want to raise them in the source of all wisdom, which is Torah, and the actions, which is mitzvahs. And I'm glad to be here tonight, and Mazel Tov again to the Jacobson family. It is on.
Our next speaker kind of told me a story that was kind of interesting. You know him, he's our beloved rabbi of Des Moines here. He told me that a man came to him with a dog. And he said this dog was a major problem. And Rabbi said, "What's the problem?" And he said, "Well, watch." And he said, "Max, yarmulke." And Max got a yarmulke and stuck it on his head. Max, tallis. And Max got a tallis and put it on his head. Max, daven. Max grabbed a sitter. He started davening. Rabbi said, "Wow, this dog is amazing. What's the problem?" I'd like him to be a doctor. I'd like to introduce the man of the hour, the father of Zalman Jacobson, Rabbi Yossi Jacobson.
First of all, everyone, l'chaim, l'chaim. Like I always say, to life, with life, from life. Tonight is not a fundraising night, so you don't have to worry. But it's a different type of fundraising. Tonight we celebrate an investment that we have invested 13 years. And tonight we celebrate the profits. And it's something that money cannot buy. There's a lot of things money cannot buy. You can't get someone to lose weight for you. There are certain things you got to do yourself. And there's no way out of it. Tonight I would like to call up my son Zalman, because tonight I'm talking to Zalman. And please come upstairs, come up to the podium. Many of you who are here, actually most of you who are here, remember when we came to Des Moines almost 14 years ago, and Label was not even 1 year old. But Label was born in Brooklyn, New York, so he's not really our real investment we had in Iowa. But Zalman is our first Iowan boy. This is an Iowan boy. That's it. Tonight, 13 years ago, Zalman was born to me and Chani, to us, to the Jacobson family, being our second light, which was 5 days before, as Rabbi Katzman mentioned, of the founder of the Chabad movement, Rabbi Shneir Zalman of Liadi. His yahrzeit is on next Sunday. And there was no better name to give him, as number one, he's our second light, and it's in the vicinity of time of the yard site of Shneur Zalman of Liadi. So here you have him, Shneur Zalman Jacobson. Shneur Zalman. We'll save the applause for last. You know, we were chosen by the Lubavitcher Rebbe of blessed memory to come to Iowa. When me and my wife, when Chani and I rode into the Rebbe, it was a matter of a nod of the either a yay or a nay. Do we go to Iowa or not? And Rabbi Groner announced our names, that Yossi and Chani Jacobson have wanted to join the ranks of Lubavitch and represent the Rebbe and Lubavitch of Iowa, and the Rebbe gave a yay. So some people ask me, did the Rebbe like you when he sent you to Iowa? The one who he sent to Hawaii or to Florida? But did the Rebbe like us when Iowa, you know? Iowa, there you go. But I want to tell you something. From the very day we stepped into Iowa, into the Jewish community, not just in Des Moines, but in Iowa City and the Quad Cities and Postville and all over the state, and Baruch Hashem, today we are happy to say, with the investment of Torah Yiddishkeit, there are 4 or 5 full-time shluchim in the state. We have the shluchim from Iowa City who are here, Rabbi Bilsovsky and his wife. We have Rabbi Kedaner and his wife who are here from the Quad Cities. And we have Rabbi Shimel who couldn't make it. We have Rabbi Goldstein here. And all those teachers. I'd like to thank the class of Zalman who traveled all day today from Postville, Iowa to celebrate. This has unfolded throughout the 13 years since Zalman came into this world 13 years ago tonight. A lot has happened. Many of you have seen the heartbeats. Many of you heard the ticking of the clock. But it's a journey. We have seen a lot of people take steps into Torah, true Judaism, and we have been inspired. I speak to my son tonight, and I want him to know what he already knows. One of the things that my mother-in-law, when she heard me and Chani were going to Iowa, she says, "What are you going to eat? What are you going to do with the kids with Torah education? What are you doing?" So I told her, "Shviga, my dear mother-in-law, I can't promise you I'm going to give Chani all the wealth in the world. But I can tell you, she will not starve. And we will not compromise not one iota on our children's Torah education." And that's what we celebrate tonight. We celebrated with Label a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and we celebrate tonight with Shneur Zalman. And I want to tell you, traveling from 7 years old, 8 years old to Postville, Iowa, in those cold winter nights, and those long journeys and the dark roads, and there were times Zalman did not want to go. What child wants to leave mommy and tati? You know? But he knew that as a soldier in the Rebbe's army, a soldier knows one thing. It's not what you want to do, it's what you have to do. There's a charge. There's an urgency. Time is running out. Time is of the essence. We all know that very well in Des Moines, Iowa. Time is of the essence. Every day is should be considered like the last day of our lives, because we don't know if tomorrow will come for us. And Baruch Hashem, Shachiyanu v'kimanu v'giyanu lizman hazeh, that all of you who are by Zalman's bris and by Zalman's Absharanish, and today we celebrate his bar mitzvah. This is a milestone. This is history in the making. He didn't realize what a milestone this is, you know. 13. What is 13? 13 represents love, ahava. You take the letters of ahava, aleph, is 1, Hey is 5, Vez is 2, and Hey is 5. You have 13. Take the word Echad. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Echad is Aleph, Ches, Dalet, which is 13. Yeah, 13. Zalman, you have seen many people who are here and those who couldn't even come to celebrate with you. You have seen many of them taking steps in Yiddishkeit. They have taught you and us and our family more than anyone in our whole life. We were raised to be Jewish. We were raised to be in the Hasidic atmosphere of the Rebbe. For us, there was no other choice. This was the life we had. And when we see people in Iowa, in Des Moines, taking step by step, choosing, people who never had a Jewish education, people who are discovering the basics, Kametz Aleph Ba for the first time, Kametz Beis Ba, people putting on tefillin for the first time or in a long time, people trying to keep Shabbos here and there, making an effort for kosher, mikvah. This is the prophets. This is 3,318 years of Judaism coming alive through every one of us. We have witnessed this, and we have been inspired. The people think that we're here to teach and change. You know, I come to realize the only thing we could do in our life is, it's not about the lives you change, it's about the lives you touch. If you think you're going to change anybody, it doesn't happen. If you come with that attitude, it doesn't happen. Who are you to change me? Who are you to tell me what to do? But I want to tell you something. We have been touched by all of you. Just as we have been touched by you, you have been touched by us. And that is the sense of mishpacha. Everyone here, you know, sometimes you get up, we like to thank family, friend. You are all our mishpacha, our family. And we have a very mixed crowd here. And that is the beauty of God's kingdom, the kingdom of heaven on earth. So I want to tell Zalman, now tomorrow morning is your first day that you are obligated as a young man to put on tefillin and wrap yourself and bound yourself with the source of all life, not after 120, but while you're alive, which you choose. As you notice on the tefillin, we have the Shema. If you look on the candle that is on every table, there's a shin on the tefillin shel rosh. On the tefillin of the head, it has 4 departments. The tefillin on the hand has one box. It's not divided. Toitafais, the head tefillin, the Mefarshim explain, is the 4 sections that are in the tefillin of the head, is to tell us that we have to hear with our both ears, the right and left ear. And we have to see with the both eyes, with our right and left eye. See, to hear what's right, to adhere what's right. That's why Shema, hear, v'hoyim shemoah. It's all about utilizing the power of Shemiah, the power of the ear, and to unite that vessel to God, to adhere to God's word. And the other 2 departments of the Tefillin Shorosh is the Einayim, the eyes, to see the positive in everything around you, and the things that are, and to take even things that don't make sense and try to make dollars out of it. And then we have the Tefillin Shel Yad Zalman. The Tefillin Shel Yad represents the heart. It should be v'hoya lecha lois. It should be a sign against your heart. And that's why it's one box. It's not separated in 4 different departments. It represents the heart. That we give our heart and eyes and ears and mind to God. And it's an exercise every day. I want to tell you a little story, and I'll end up with this. A few years ago, I went to a doctor here in town, and I asked him, is there any way how I could get my stomach stapled? So he did a little history on me. He says, you're 50, 60 pounds short for that procedure. So I came home, I said, Chani, guess what? I'm 60 pounds short for the procedure. He tells me. So the doctor tells me, Yossi, I don't recommend it to you. You gained it. You gained it without your stomach being stapled. You got to lose it. Just like you put on your tefillin and daven every day as an exercise. You know, you're gonna run to that tefillin every morning. The same way, you gotta work, and you gotta work on yourself. Zalman, you have seen everything that Mami and Tati have showed you in Yiddishkeit. You have been raised in a community in Postville with the greatest people, the Shalom Arucha and Leah Rabashkin, who Zalman has been there for years, and by the family Vogel, who he was there for a year, and family Reitzis. He has been shtibel hopping, and have seen, he has been grew up in the community, a Hasidic community, and knows where his heart is and mind is. Zalman, take everything. We know it was a hard road, but you know what? It was worth every minute and every effort. And we want to thank God for giving you to us and giving us the schus to raise you for 13 years. And we hope, as a young man, you continue your journey of manhood, choosing now as a young man, choosing to become chosen every day of your life, because now you're on your own. Echad, you are one with God. You are on your own now. You are responsible for your own responsibilities in Torah and mitzvahs. The word Shema, which is the first portion of the tefillin, stands for Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv. All the mitzvahs that relate to the morning, all the prayers that relate to the morning, and all the prayers that relate to the mincha, to the afternoon, and all the mitzvahs that relate to Arvis, Shema. You are now obligated to choose it and fulfill it and be an inspiration for all those around you to be touched by your commitment. And we want to wish him much success in his mission as a young man. L'chaim, l'chaim. Now Zalman will continue on